Welcome to Standalone, our solo movie reviews. Here at the Grab Some Popcorn podcast, we love talking about movies, but sometimes we don't always love the same movies. That's why we started Standalone, our space to share individual takes. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this solo breakdown. On this episode, I will be breaking down Bone Lake, directed by Mercedes Bryce Morgan and starring Maddie Hassan, Marco Pagossi, who plays Sage and Diego, our main character couple, and supporting roles played by Alex Rowe and Andra Nechta, who will be playing the invading couple Will and Sin. Bone Lake is a seductive mind game that tests how far trust can really stretch before it snaps, and a vacation gone wrong where love, lies, and manipulation all share the same bed. So, going into Bone Lake, I honestly thought it was going to be your typical thriller, a killer in a house, playing mind games, just the standard type setup, but boy was I wrong. I don't know if I misread the trailer, but the plot completely took me for a spin. We start off with the couple, Sage and Diego, taking a vacation, and right away you can tell something is off with this couple. We can obviously see that they're together, but that connection just isn't there. Sage clearly feels unsatisfied with Diego, emotionally, sexually, and financially. And while Diego's trying to keep things together, it's that quiet tension you can feel in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But eventually they get to the house and things seem to mellow out a bit. And then this other couple shows up, Sin and Will, and everything starts to shift then. And what feels like an awkward mix-up at first turns into something way more uncomfortable. And pretty much from the arrival of Sin and Will, things full on spiral into manipulation, temptation, and power games between the two couples. So the defining moment for this movie, for me, the moment that really defined Bone Lake was when Will stole Diego's proposal idea. All right, so earlier in this movie, Diego opens up to Will. They're having like a bro-to-bro conversation out on the patio, or actually, I think it was out in front of Diego's car. Will was about to go on a jog, and he happens to just see the ring that Diego was trying to hide. So Diego opens up to Will, and they're having a vulnerable conversation, and he divulges that he plans to propose to Sage with his grandma's ring, okay? Something that's really personal. And then later on in the movie, Will straight up he steals the ring. It like happens off screen. Will steals the ring off screen from Diego and proposes to his girlfriend right then and there, right in front of Sage and Diego. And that's when I knew this movie just wasn't about awkward vacation. It was just full-blown manipulation type game going on between the two couples. And I think the actor that plays Diego, he really sells it here. You can really feel that mix of shock, anger, and betrayal. It's awkward, it's intense, and it perfectly sets the tone for how twisted this movie gets. A standout element in this movie, I would say what really stood out to me in Bone Lake was the tone. It nails that uneasy, seductive energy where you never quite know what's coming next. I'll be honest, the twist that happens in this movie, I don't want to spoil it because I want to be able to do these reviews without giving away too many spoilers, because I want people who haven't seen the movie to go out and see it. And even if they hear this review first, I still want some things to be a surprise. But just finding out that the other couple were the masterminds behind everything, that was like one of the wild reveals for sure. And I got to give the writers credit for that, because it's not always about being the first to do something. It's about how you execute it. And this movie really executes unpredictability really well. Like just when you think you've got it figured it out, it flips you on your head again. What keeps Bone Lake from greatness? For me, I would say it's the believability for sure. I mean, it's kind of wild how fast the couple, the main character couple, who have been together for years, just start opening up to complete strangers. Like they start sharing personal details, emotional stuff, and even private relationship issues with people they just met. I get that it's a movie and you gotta push the plot along, but for me, it just didn't feel realistic. If like the movie had built up that manipulation a little bit slower or like made the setup feel a little bit more natural, it would have definitely hit a little bit harder for me. Now, who this movie is for? This movie is for anyone that loves thrillers. I would pretty much recommend this movie to any thriller lover. It's not really a horror movie per se. I didn't really see too many horror elements, but it definitely kept me on my toes. It was definitely a very, sexy movie, very seductive movie. Definitely a movie for in adults for sure. But if you like thrillers, then go ahead and watch this movie. My hot take for this movie, even though the movie ends on a happy note, I kind of wish there was some justice for the other victims, like maybe a quick call to the police or a hint that the truth got out. I thought that that might happen at one point. There's one point in the movie where she gets stabbed in the foot while she's pursuing the main character couple trying to escape. And when she gets stabbed in the foot, she kind of gets impaled to the dock and she's stuck there. So I thought that maybe she would have stayed there, but of course she escaped. And I just wish that there was just a little bit more closure for the victims there, but it did end on a happy note, so that is good. A score for this movie. I'm giving this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. It had great acting across the board, a strong plot, and some nice twists and turns. Like I said before, there's a really big reveal towards the end that I would love to talk about, but I want y'all to experience it for yourself. Or if you've already seen this movie, drop your comments down below and let me know what you thought about the twists for Sin and Will. But all in all, this is a solid thriller that definitely deserves a spot on your watch list. So be sure to check out Bone Lake and let me know what y'all thought of this review. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day, y'all.